out here at a clean out, but we're also trying to assess a leak. And so this leak, we've actually got some great information from a homeowner about doing a pipe test. Pipe test is basically us setting up an above ground pipe and running it to the bottom waterfall. We actually want to run that for a period of time, days or a week, whatever it takes to verify whether we're losing water in that one location. And so if we're not, then we move it up to the next waterfall, or 5 or 10 feet based on the conditions of the design. And so some of the giveaways that we encounter is low edges. It's very common that we find low edges on water features, certainly of this size. We get settling and that sort of thing that create leaks. So this bridge actually can create low edges because we have liner coming up from underneath and then supposedly coming up. And so this is definitely an area that we would want to focus on. The other thing that we're going to be looking at is moving a couple of sites, within the bottom of each stream. And in those streams, we're actually going to be doing a thumb test. Now that thumb test will tell us whether it's saturated or not saturated just by pushing our thumb and making a depression in that liner. If we do get mud, obviously it's going to be really super soft. And so that's another test that we're going to be doing across the bottom of this stream.
So what we've got here is we've got a waterfall. So the water comes up and over about an inch, maybe 2 inches. And you can see that it builds up like right about here where this liner's sitting. And because when I found it, this liner was sitting flat, almost flush with the concrete here. And because there's rocks sitting on top of it, it's pushing it down. And that lets the water kind of seep back in through here. And so now, if you pull up the liner a little bit, you can see it's all mud. So we may have found our leak. Now that we've found one of these leaks, we're gonna keep kind of looking around and just make sure that there's nothing else. We'll just keep scanning the bottom of the stream here, and we'll check the sides of the liner, make sure everything's okay.
All right, so as I was explaining earlier, we've got a leak up in this area. So up where Jack is at, we're experiencing a leak about an inch per day, roughly. Now, if we bring the camera down in here, I'll show you as we follow it down, we actually get more of a dramatic waterfall down in this area. And so, that's about 6, 7, 8 feet in elevation with various waterfalls that are going across. Across this waterfall, we're experiencing roughly about a ½ inch of water loss due to evaporation per day. And then if I pan back over in here, from about where Jack is at, we're actually experiencing double that. And so that definitely does tell me that we're experiencing a leak, more of a leak up in this upper area, and it's not due to evaporation. Hey, I just wanted to show you something real quick. What's unique about this is that there's actually torn fragments and then actually holes that have been chewed through, and this is basically rodent damage. And so this rodent damage is from voles, other rodents that actually chew a hole through the liner. They'll use it for nesting material, but also they'll want to kind of stay hidden from predators. This will very much cause a leak and indicate a leak. So what I'm going to do with this is build this liner straight up. We're going to bring it up as high as we can, and then we're going to backfill with gravel on both sides. And so that backfill will eliminate any kind of holes that basically rodents get through with rock just placed. So this is kind of the after effects of what I want to do. Now that rodents don't have the ability to get through the gravel, and so I'm going to finish this up with more gravel to where this will seal this off with any kind of rodents. So it's a great way to prevent rodent damage.